kind of pick up where Danny left off. We are talking today about Capitol Hill Day, which is an annual event that started many, many years ago. Special Olympics gets the opportunity to visit with our state legislatures about different topics. Each year or every few years, they change topics. It's been health, it's been schools, it's been all kinds of topics over the years. But today, we're excited to have Emily, Audrey, and Rylynn here. They are the people who went to Hill Day this year. Obviously, with the COVID situation, it was all done by Zoom this year, but we're excited to welcome them and learn more about their experience this year. So now, I guess we should introduce ourselves. I'm Luann with Special Olympics Minnesota, and I think we'll go around and we each can introduce ourselves. Nell, do you want to go next?
Sure. I am Nell Kuninkordi, and I'm also with Special Olympics Minnesota.
Kayte, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yep. I am Kayte. I live in Hugo, and I'm a part of the athlete leadership programs and the health programs.
Audrey and Rylynn?
Yeah, my name is Audrey, and I'm a senior at Stillwater High School, and I've been a part of our Unified Club for 3 years, and I'm also taking Unified PE for the second time, and I'm on the Student Board of Directors for Special Olympics Minnesota.
I'm Rylynn. I'm a junior at Stillwater Area High School. I've been part of our Unified Club for 2 years now, and I'm also on the Student Board of Directors for Special Olympics Minnesota.
Awesome. And Emily?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Emily, and I work for Special Olympics Minnesota. And fun fact, I went to Capitol Hill years ago in person with Abby Hirsch and Mike Kane, and we were able to walk around and tell our story about inclusion to people. But that was a very long time ago, but it's one of my fondest memories. So I'm so excited to be on here and talk about Capitol Hill with the all-stars who got to go, Kayte, Audrey, and Rylynn. It's so fun. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for being here, everyone. Nell, as most of you know, is our host for this show. So I'm going to let Nell take it away and start our conversation.
All right, sounds great. Well, welcome, guys, and thank you for joining me. The first question I have is, tell us a little bit about yourself and your role with Special Olympics.
Love it. Now, who would you like to go first? There's so many of us.
Anyone can start, so have at it.
How about, let's throw it over. Audrey and Rylynn, do you guys want to share? I know you just kind of shared about your role, but maybe like when you got started, like Nell's asking with Special Olympics, and what you're doing, like what's going on tomorrow, just like all the cool things you guys are a part of.
I've been with Special Olympics Minnesota now for 6 years as an athlete. I've been on the Student Board of Directors for Special Olympics Minnesota. This would be my second year on it. And then tomorrow's our Unified State Basketball Tournament that I'm a part of.
Yeah, so I've only been a part of Special Olympics, like the board of directors. This is my first year, but I've been at our Unified Champion School this is my 4th year now. So just kind of that indirect relationship with Special Olympics. And I'm not really an athlete, but I'm a big supporter. So I like to cheer them on, and I'm going to their Unified Basketball Tournament tomorrow. And just with like their floor hockey and adapted soccer, I just like to cheer them on. I don't really like to play.
The cheering is just as important, I would say, sometimes as the playing. We need people cheering for sure.
Yes.
Love it. Kayte, how about you?
I have been involved with Special Olympics for 25 years. I've done various things. I've played sports, but as I've gotten older and realized my body can't do sports anymore, I've become more involved with the leadership side of things and the health side of things, and have made health kind of my passion to kind of help people with intellectual disabilities access inclusive healthcare.
Awesome. Nell, should I answer as well?
Sure. Please do.
Why not, right? I'm on here. Okay. I like to talk. So I have been a staff member for almost 8 years now, which is pretty crazy. And then before that, I was an intern. And during my staff time here, I've been a unified partner for SoFit, for bocce, basketball, and softball. I will say I was not a good bocce partner, so I kind of got kicked off as a unified partner. But I still really love that aspect of Special Olympics and being a unified partner and being able to play sports here. It's been an awesome time.
Well, you can always be my bocce partner.
Now you would have me, even though you don't know how bad I am.
Have you seen me play?
I'm not good now. I'll just be honest. I'm not very good, but
I'm not either.
I'll let you
fun,
see me play. Yeah, we'll be good. We'll be good together. Love it.
Sounds good. I heard you all attended Capitol Hill Day. What was it like?
I think what I felt like was very exciting to meet our representatives and senators. So it's kind of exciting to meet them.
Yeah, it was just really cool to get a chance to speak with our members of Congress, and all of them were super nice, and it wasn't nerve-wracking at all. And most of them really had genuine support, and it just felt good to hear that from them.
I have to agree with what they said. It was fun and it was a good experience to speak to our members of Congress, just to kind of share what Special Olympics does for us, so they know what those funds will do.
Kayte, you went to Capitol Hill Day years ago, didn't you?
Yes.
So this is also your second time. Did it seem different this time over the last time, or was it a different experience? Yeah.
You know, it was better not having to run across DC to the next building, right, Emily?
Yeah. When you're in person.
Didn't hurt. Your feet probably didn't hurt as bad this time around.
Yeah.
No, and then have to run.
Right. Audrey and Rylynn, kind of going off of Nell's question too, how was it being virtual? Did you feel like you could really connect with the people you met with? Was it harder to share your story, easier to share your story?
I kind of felt like it was a little easier to share a story, just because it was as it was just over Zoom. It just kind of made that platform a little easier.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you're meeting in person, you'll have the nervous thing kick in.
Mm.
But I feel like over Zoom it was fine. But it would have been cool to be in person too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think, we don't really have it. We don't know what it was like to meet in person because we've never done that. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just a cool experience either way. But obviously, I would have loved to meet them in person. But it just getting to talk to them over Zoom even is really cool.
So cool.
Yeah.
And Beth says, how'd you all see each other through Special Olympics?
Well, we see each other on screen a lot, I would say, right now. I don't know if many of us have seen each other in person besides Audrey and Rylynn, because they go to the same school, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Lots of Zoom.
Mm-hmm. Lots of Zoom.
Lots of Zoom. Thank goodness for Zoom.
Yes.
And then we'll all see each other tomorrow.
Yeah. It's at the basketball tournament, the school's basketball tournament.
Yeah. So a little bit of in-person at least.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hopefully more in person in the future. That's only the hope. More and more of it.
I think a time will come. It's slowly getting there. Can anyone tell me why Special Olympics Minnesota does Hill Day?
I agree, Nell. I agree.
Hill Day is done because some of the money that comes from the federal government helps to run some of our programs, like the unified schools and the health programs. We get some of that comes back to the SOI, and then it will trickle down to the state, which will help run healthy athletes in our unified clubs and schools, like what Audrey and Rylynn do it at Stillwater.
Audrey and Rylynn, do
Perfect
you have
answer,
anything to
Kayte,
add?
100%.
I think it helps out with the Special Olympics, like our programs, like how Kayte was saying, like with the Unified Champion schools, then for the athletes who are part of Special Olympics Minnesota, who are on teams, like community teams, get that chance.
Yeah, I think it's just something that's important to talk to our elected officials about, just to like connect with them for their support for what we do.
It's a great awareness opportunity, isn't it, to make them aware of all that Special Olympics athletes are doing. Yeah.
Well, that sounds pretty amazing. What did each of you talk about?
I talked about what meant about being an athlete in a Unified Champion school. So how I started with Special Olympics.
Yeah, and I talked about how I became involved in Unified through sharing a few of my stories and experiences I've had, and just how important it is to me.
What about you, Kayte?
Oh, she sent a chat that said she can't hear anyone.
Oh, no. I know, and Emily froze on my screen. I don't know if she's frozen on your screens, but
It's a bit glitchy, yeah.
yeah, it's really glitchy with Emily too. So I think I talked over her once, but I didn't mean to. So now maybe we'll just go to the next question while everybody's trying to get back on here.
Would any of you be willing to share your Hill Day speech with your audience today?
Yeah, well, Rylyn's pulling hers up. I can share mine.
Okay.
So my unified journey began when I met Zach. Zach has an intellectual disability, and I met him in my general PE class. And I became friends with him throughout the semester, and he just was the life of the party. And by the end of the year, he told me I should join the Unified Club the next year, so that's what I did. And I continued to be friends with Zach, and last year he asked me to prom with a sign that said, "You would light up my world if you went to prom with me." And it was one of my favorite memories I've ever had, and it made me so happy to see the pure joy on Zach's face. So Unified has changed my life because of all the connections I've made and the fun experiences I've had. I've met many new people and have made new friends, including Rylynn. Rylynn and I are both on our club student leadership team, and we work together through communications with things like our social media account. And Rylynn and I have continued to grow in our student leadership, but also in our friendship. And I'm grateful we got to participate on Capitol Hill Day together. It's connections like the one Rylynn and I have that are unique to what Special Olympics offers. And not only that, but memorable experiences such as bowling with other unified clubs or doing the polar plunge wouldn't have been possible without Special Olympics support. Although we still have a long way to go, our school has become a more inclusive school, and it's noticeable. Our adapted soccer team went to state this year, and it was held at our school. So when I went to go watch them play, I was just blown away by the size of the student section. The entire night I couldn't wipe the smile off my face, and it made me so happy to see our student body come together to support the adapted team. Our world needs more kindness and encouragement, and that's why Unified is so important to me, because it provides just that. Every individual has the right to feel included, loved, and accepted, and we must recognize we are all different from one another and embrace this because everyone's opinion matters. And we should continue to strive to build each other up and make sure everyone feels good about who they are. And Special Olympics continues to help schools like ours grow a kind environment to learn in.
My speech is, my name is Rylynn Zanin, and I'm from Stillwater, Minnesota. I've been involved with Special Olympics Minnesota for 6 years as an athlete on a community team and as part of my Unified Champion School. I do track and field, bowling, and basketball for sports. And I have a role on the Special Olympics Student Board of Directors. Being a student at a Unified Champion School has changed my life. I started Unified in school as a freshman when I joined a Unified club called Ponies Trust Club, and when I took Unified PE for the first time. Unified is important to me because I think everyone at school should have The opportunity to be included in everything and unified is a way to make that happen. Special Olympics is a great opportunity and community for people who have disabilities and for those without. My hope is that every school becomes a unified champion school so that students like me always feel included.
Those are
Chills,
great.
you guys.
Those are perfect.
Yeah, very nice. Kayte, are you able to hear us
Yes.
yet? Do you want to give your speech? Do you have it handy?
Yep. Do you want the long one or do you want the elevator speech one?
Maybe-
Probably the elevator.
Yeah.
My name is Kayte Barton. I'm a Special Olympics Minnesota athlete. I've been involved for 25 years. I've had the opportunity to compete in many sports. I also have had the opportunity to attend all the health screenings offered by Special Olympics Minnesota. Special Olympics Minnesota offers health disciplines, opening eyes, social smiles, fit feet, fun fitness, health motion, and healthy hearing. These screenings are very important to us as athletes, as they help prevent health issues from becoming larger ones. Our last in-person health screening was in 2019. We screened 1,372 athletes for overall health and fitness. I have learned that if I want to see change, that I need to be the one to be part of that change. Through our athlete leadership programs, I learned how important it was to have my voice heard. I'm making changes here in Minnesota in ways I never would imagine possible. The funds provided will help Special Olympics continue to work to ensure that we as athletes will be able to get inclusive health care that we need. It will help Special Olympics develop a way to improve the health of athletes in countries where healthcare isn't as good. I'd like to personally invite you to come visit our summer games in June, where I will personally show you our healthy athletes programs and just how important they are. I hope to see you in June. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me and talk to you today. Thank you.
Great job, Kayte.
Awesome.
Wow, you guys, I can see why they were all impressed when they heard from each of you. That's amazing. And Kayte, I like your partner there that makes an appearance once in a while.
That's Winston.
Hi, Winston.
He's cheering her on. Okay, I understand that you guys had multiple meetings with a bunch of different legislators. Do you have a favorite meeting? If so, why?
I don't think I had a favorite meeting. I think it was just a very cool experience in meeting everyone who came and listened to us talk about our story. So I don't think I had a favorite one. I just thought it was really cool meeting everyone.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce their names right, but my favorite was with Julia Convertini, who was the representative for Jim Hagdorn. Because towards the end, she started to tear up, and it just made it so much more meaningful of an experience. It was really reassuring to know that our stories had an impact on others and that we were doing this for a good reason. And it just is good to have the support from her and all the other people that we talked to.
That's awesome. Emily, did you also talk to our legislatures?
No, I did not. I just supported Rylynn and Audrey through the pre-process of it all and then wasn't involved day of. So I've heard their speeches before. It's made me tear up a few times, Audrey. You guys have great speeches, and Kayte, you too. You guys did an awesome job.
Yeah,
Kayte, how about you? Oh, sorry, Luann.
Nope, go ahead.
There wasn't any one particular. It was just a fun experience, just to tell my story and allow them to see what Special Olympics means.
Mm-hmm. I see Abby said, "I'm so proud of all of you," and I think we can all agree with Abby that you've made all of us very proud. You guys are all great representatives for SOMN.
I definitely agree. How does Hill Day help Special Olympics athletes and students?
I think how Hill Day helped Special Olympics athletes is by when giving the money from our representatives and senators can help make a difference in athletes' lives.
Yeah, I think it's just important for us to be able to talk to our legislators. But I think also actually for us to participate in Hill Day, it really helped us because it gives us a chance to reflect on our unified journey and really know like why we are involved in Special Olympics and why it's so important to us, just in case we get another opportunity where we get to share something that's important. I think it's just good to reflect on what we think is important and what we're advocating for.
Kayte, how about you?
And I guess it empowers us as me as a leader that want to learn more about what government does and how I can get them involved to help us as people with intellectual disabilities more.
Yeah,
And Kendra says you are all amazing.
I think we can all agree with that. You're making your fellow athletes and all of us proud of you.
Would you recommend reaching out to your local legislators about different topics?
Yes, don't be afraid of it. They'll listen to you because it's their job. Because if you would go as a constituent with a piece of legislation, they're more likely to listen to you than if one of their fellow lawmakers go to it with it.
Yeah, I think if it's something that you truly care about and that you think is important, it's worth it to do anything that you can to spread awareness for it.
You also have a voice, and I think they want to hear your voice. Like, have your voice there. Like, give them what you think should happen. Give them some ideas so you can be heard.
I think of someone that has worked with Special Olympics that has said it only takes 7 attempts for a legislator to take a topic seriously. So it doesn't take many people to reach out and then they take it seriously about different topics and issues. I have some experience doing public speaking. I'm curious if you all have any advice on public speaking.
I don't know if this really counts for public speaking, but yesterday we had our kickoff to Polar Plunge meeting because we're bringing our Polar Plunge to our school, so we're trying to get people involved. So we spoke about what our club is and how the Polar Plunge can help our club out in Special Olympics. So I don't know if that would qualify for public speaking because it was a big crowd.
Well, yeah, and I think some advice for public speaking is to try not to get too in your head because I think as long as you don't make too many mistakes, like no one's gonna remember your small stutters. They're just gonna really focus on like what the main idea of your speech is and all that. They're not gonna remember that. They're just gonna remember what you really had to say, especially if it's an important topic like inclusion.
Good point, Audrey. I think nobody expects us to be perfect, right? Just genuine.
I guess to when you're speaking to somebody, just speak to them like you would when you're having a conversation. It's kind of how I learned. Then you're not as nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Go slow. They can understand.
I put little emojis in my speech so it would cue me to either slow down, look up, smile.
Yeah, for sure. All good points to public speaking. I think Emily had to. Oh, go ahead. Just wanted to let everybody know that I think Emily had to drop off our meeting and go to another meeting. So thank you to Emily for joining us for as long as she could. Oh, Jim's got some. This is Jim, one of our law enforcement people who are very involved with Special Olympics Minnesota. Nell, do you want to read his comment
Sure.
here?
It says, when it comes to public speaking, be yourself. Seeing and hearing the real you makes me listen more.
Very good point.
Very well said, Jim, and can't agree with you more. My thing is, I just talk to people as though they're just like anybody else, because that's what they are. I don't see anybody else as less than. We're just all one, and we all have a voice to share. Now that you are done with Hill Day, what are your plans for Special Olympics?
Well, me and Audrey are on the board of directors for Special Olympics. So we have a few meetings left this year for that. The polar plunge. What else?
Yeah, no, I just think for me, I'm going to continue to attend the student board directors meetings and just continue to learn about inclusion and how we're improving it in our world. And next year I go to college. So my goal is to somehow stay connected with Special Olympics or continue being a part of the unified movement, no matter what college I go to.
That's awesome. You can carry your message to your college.
Kate?
I plan to help with the health programs and leadership programs, continue to help find ways to find inclusive healthcare needs, improve the access to inclusive healthcare.
I'm glad to hear, Rylynn, that you're going to do the plunge too. That's a fun event to get involved with.
Yeah. Nice thing it's coming to our school. So.
Yeah, we're getting the mobile unit. It's our first year
good.
trying it, but we're excited for whole school engagement.
You'll have fun.
Hoping a lot of people show up.
Yeah. You'll
I
have
do the
fun.
plunge too. It's fun. And Kate, you and I always have the same thing in common about the inclusive health. So we all have something a little bit in common. Special Olympics asks, do you plan to continue to attend Capitol Hill Day in the future?
Well, I hope so. It was really fun experience.
If asked, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if asked.
If asked.
Yeah.
And the last question I have is, what did you get out of the experience? What skills did you develop, and how do you think these skills will be useful in your lives?
I think I gained experience speaking in a professional setting, even if it was over Zoom. Like you're still talking to a person with an important job, and it's just important to be professional. And I learned how to have proper etiquette. And it's just going to be useful for any time I need to be in a professional setting where I'm getting a new job, or maybe even talking to my future professors or something like that. It's just good experience.
Same thing for me. It's good experience of meeting our senators and representatives and talking public speaking on how on how we shared our story with them.
It gave me experience talking to legislators as my legislation that I wrote moves forward. When I go talk to the Minnesota ones, I have practice.
Lots of good skills being built here with you guys.
And we've got a question saying, what has been your favorite part of your experience with Capitol Hill Day?
My peer experience was just meeting our senators and representatives and having them listen to our story about Unified.
Yeah, I just think it's really cool to get to talk to these people, like the senators and reps that you see on TV or something like that. Like you're talking to them about your own story. It's just really cool.
Virtually, it's just talking to everybody in person. It was fun seeing DC and all the monuments and all the history areas.
Did you
Oh,
guys
well,
know,
this-
did
oh,
you
sorry.
guys know any of the politicians before you met with them? You know, were you aware of your politicians for your areas within the state and stuff who you met with?
If I'm being honest, no, but
Same.
I just started US government and politics this semester, so I'm learning about that now.
Well, that's great. You'll have personal experience to share in your class.
Oh yeah, I'm planning on it. We had to do 2 truths and a lie for our get to know you slide, and I included the talking to senators on it.
Nice.
Kayte, I know that you've had some legislative experience before. So was this kind of a second time that you've met some of these legislatures for you?
Some are same, some are new. So, like the senator, one of the senators is new, but a lot of the representatives were new, so they were new people that I got to tell my story to.
Okay, awesome. You may have some future politicians in this group. Who knows?
No matter what, it's always good to get involved in any way you can with your legislators.
Right, for sure. It's another way to have your voice heard, right?
Some ways I think there is even more important because they can make the big changes that need to be made within the country and the counties and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Do you have
Well,
any?
I have no other questions. How about you, Luann?
I was just going to ask if they have any other final thoughts on their experience or what it meant to you to be chosen this year.
Do you have anything to add?
No. You?
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to add. I mean, we kind of covered everything. It was just like, I keep repeating it, but it was a really cool experience. And I'm just very glad that we were chosen. And I'm glad that like Rylynn was chosen with me and that we got to do it together.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just overall a great experience.
Yeah, good. What about you, Kayte? Any final thoughts?
I'm glad I was chosen. It too was a good experience.
Good. Well, we appreciate that you took the time because I know it takes a lot of preparation ahead of time to prepare for Hill Day. And I just want to say thank you on behalf of all of us at Special Olympics for representing us so well this year. Yeah, it means a lot to us that you did all this for us and advocated on behalf of all of our athletes. So thank you.
And thanks for taking the time to be a part of this interview.
You're
It's
welcome.
been awesome getting to know you guys. And I mean, I've known Kayte, but I haven't met Audrey or Rylynn. So it's nice meeting you guys.
Yeah,
Nice
definitely.
meeting you too.
And hopefully we'll see each other at future events.
Okay, everybody. Well, that's our show for today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Join us next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.